All right. Well, first, I just wanted to wish you all a happy St. Patrick's Day because I love St. Patrick's Day. I'm Irish and it's just a reason to drink. So who doesn't like St. Patrick's Day?
Is it St. Patrick's Day today?
Well, on Sunday, not
Oh,
today, but Sunday,
I have no idea.
I drink green beer on St. Patrick's Day every year. But this year, Jared's not here. He's traveling. And I think I'm going to put my food coloring in my champagne. So I'm going to
Oh,
have green champagne.
that'll be so cool.
So, and I'm going to wish you all happy Easter because it's also Easter in a couple weeks. It's early this year.
And same to you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like sneaking up on me. I'm just like, oh crap, that's in like 2 weeks. My mom was like, are you doing anything for Easter? I was like, I hadn't even thought about it. Now that my kids are older too, they don't care so much, you know? So it's kind of a,
We're
anyway,
doing Easter next in 2 weeks, the 27th, I think.
nice.
Hmm.
Is that on Saturday or Thursday?
Wednesday.
Oh, oh yeah.
Right before the coaching event,
Oh,
because I
dang.
love to add stress. Yeah.
Yeah, you're brave. So
Huh.
speaking of that, I'll let you talk
Okay.
about the coaching event.
So we partnered up, for this year with John Story and his coaching programs. He does weekly Zooms. He's got all the content in there. So there's constantly classes and information going on. But one of our agreements is that John will do, I think it's 2 events in person a year with us. So he was like so excited. We're his first real brokerage to work with. Um, so we just figured the end of March would be a great time to get our butts in gear for second quarter. Um, so I put down some of the topics in bullet point, and how many agents are on here right now? Oh, there's not many right now. So,
16.
agents, agents that are out of state, or obviously like Tucson or Joanne's and Sholo, we do have a Zoom link. So Lisa will send that out. She's been told not to send that out until a couple days before, you know. The goal is obviously to get everyone in person. And this is opened up to any agents. So they're not just going to be Bliss agents. The title reps are inviting, lenders are inviting, and John's inviting people um, from his database. So it'll be interesting just to hear what people say, the questions they ask. He's timed down. I think we have how many topics? We have 8 topics, and each one is timed at 15 minutes. I'm going to be sitting there with a timer, and then at the very end, there's 30 minutes for questions and answers. So, and we're going to bring in some food. Um, geez, maybe we should I wish we could just do some alcohol too, but probably have more fun. I might do that actually.
I think we need booze. I think
Yeah,
that it would be
yeah.
fun.
Courtney's like, laugh, I could see her. You know what? I'll bring it. Whatever. I'll bring some in there. Some mixed
I was
cocktails.
thinking, boy, I say those words a lot, but I'd never heard Lisa say them before.
Heck yeah. So
It'll
I
make
think,
people more talkative. Maybe they'll
oh
ask
yeah, you loosen
questions and
up.
be more
Yeah,
involved. It opens them
yeah.
up a little bit.
And I know we just shared, and I think Lisa's got the flyer. I'm getting off topic, but we've done the photo shoots with Stacey Neal before. She's got another one in April coming up. And then we're putting some stuff together with Stacey and John. So, oh, there it is. There's the flyer. I put it on our Teams chat and Facebook group. So, the I just lost my train of thought. I had COVID for a week. So, let me get back into what I was going to say. John is really, and I listen to a lot of podcasts on other agents, and John is not talking out of his butt. It's YouTube is really, really pushing forward, especially with TikTok possibly being banned in the US. YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and you're going to see a lot of platforms change and things shift. So John has some agents that he's been coaching, and I can throw their names out so we can all follow them, Aaron and Alex, and they've built out on YouTube buyer presentations, like 20 steps of when you're a first time buyer, right? And then seller. And then they're using this at open houses. They're like, hey, register, or here you go. Thanks for contacting me. Here's a link on the process how I work with buyers, and their business is booming. So Stacy, I have a green screen and then a halo light. We were going to actually put it together in May and June indoors so the agents can come in and do recordings and get these videos hammered out. We figured as the weather started getting warmer. Again, this is not an excuse, and I hope no one is waiting until May or June to make these videos, because I have to do mine next week. My own butt got reamed by John for my YouTube channel and the layout. And so, yeah, so I'm fixing that because I want to be better. I'm trying to not be stuck in my little world. So anyway, that's I hope no one waits till May or June to make videos. So just those are things we're planning on. We just don't have them out there just yet. So the takeaway with John, and it's funny because we met with him yesterday and just had a couple hours with him. He's so toned down. He's like so chill. He answers questions, tells you percentages, statistics. He's got it all there for you of agents that are successful in doing what he's coaching on. When he's out in public, he's trying to get people amped up, right? He's trying to get emotion out of you. What are you wanting? He's trying to get you to go, right? So I'll be curious to see what he's like on the 28th. But he's honestly just a really chill, down to earth guy. So he just works hard like the rest of us. So anyway, please.
Okay, I had to unmute myself. All right.
Sorry.
The next thing
Oh,
Mark
yeah.
talk about was the PrimeStreet, so I'll let you
Yep.
talk.
So I'm going to send an email out today. It was, I think, Monday at like 8 in the morning. I had a 30-minute call with our rep, Larry, at PrimeStreet. And he went through our accounts and he's like, we should be getting a lot more leads. So the internet leads, guys, have picked up huge. I see it in Sync. I advertise for internet leads. PrimeStreet is seeing a huge increase. But if you're not going to put forth the effort, then yeah, you miss out. It's a stream of leads, opportunities to work, and they're not instant. You still have to work them, right? You have to call, you have to communicate, you got to show up. But he and I sat through our account, and we're going to go through another leads training. So that's what this day and time is. And I'll send out an email because he sat and pulled numbers on the best zip codes. So adjust your zip codes, adjust the mileage. There's a lot of little things that you can tweak so that you can get leads coming in. It's a 35% referral fee. Like who wouldn't want to do it? And I'm bringing this up because we have agents in other states and other locations. You can still work these. Work them. Pay PrimeStreet the 35% referral fee and then refer it to another Bliss agent. Build a team off of it, guys. So what? It's only 50%. It's still money. It's money that you didn't have. $3,000 or $4,000 is better than zero. So, when I see the internet leads picking up and the traction, that means people are out there looking and they're getting ready to do something. And we've been talking about this since last year of you don't be a secret agent. You need to have your information out there, and definitely on social media or doing open houses so the public can see you and get to know you, right? Because when they're ready to list or ready to buy, are you top of mind with them? So anyway, I'll send out an email this today about PrimeStreet and what he and I discussed. I took some screenshots and got some tips from him. So yeah. There's really only, I think, 3 agents that were working the leads. And there was 35 leads so far that have come in.
Wow. Yeah, I think I agree. I see it picking up, like the agents that are working and putting in the
I think
effort.
Regina even worked some of them, right? She closed one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Stuff picking up. So
yep. You got to work. You got to want to work. So, um, they're not going to close in 2 weeks. You're not going to, it takes consistency, and that's any coach. I don't care what you're doing. It's consistency. So over and over, you got to be consistent. So you can't say, well, I did it for 30 days and I didn't get anything, so I'm done. Or just like the open houses, like agents get listings and buyers from the open houses. You can't just sit one or two and go, it didn't work, guys, I'm done. Like you talk to any Rachel Adams, I was on a panel with her. She sat for her first 2 years. She was so broke. She didn't even have money for gas. She sat open houses Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, just like me, every weekend for 2 years. So anyway, there's my tangent. What's the next slide?
ooh, sometimes the next one is the lifestyle photo
Yeah.
shoot. You have more to say
Yeah.
about
You know what? We always need new photos. $25 is nothing to get. We did one with them. Was it the end of last year or summer last year?
something like
Yeah.
that.
I signed up for this one for April 3rd, so I've already paid the $25. And then we're gonna put together some video stuff too. But you constantly need photos of yourself, and they're nice because they're lifestyle shoots. So it's you working and posing, not standing in whatever, just I'm probably going to bring a couple different outfits. I love my t-shirts, jeans, heels, and a blazer, and maybe not even a blazer because I'm really not comfortable in blazers. So it's whatever you're comfortable in, because that's how the clients see you. I did a walkthrough today in Lulu pants and my hair in a bun, and I spent an hour with the sellers there, not my clients, and they talked to me for an hour. So, I think just being real too is super important.
Well, that's what John teaches. Like, be you.
Uh-huh.
They want to know who you are and connect with you to get
Yep.
business.
Yep. John's not talking about things that we don't know. It's just we're not doing it. And that's the biggest thing is we have to do and implement. Even if your commitment is one post a week, that's better than zero, right? Set a goal. So, anyway, yeah.
Yeah. And you get 10 photos. I mean, for the $25, you get 10 professionally, like whatever they do on their end,
Edited.
edited
Yeah.
photos. And they're doing it's in a model home. So it's like in a
Yeah.
nice
Yeah.
setting, like
Yeah.
totally decked out house.
Yeah.
So it's a good deal for $25, you guys. What's next?
Oh yeah. I just ordered some swag. Do you guys all know where the swag button is? Everyone's quiet.
I know where
Can I share my screen?
What's that?
Can you let me share my screen?
Yeah. Hold on. How do I always forget. They move these things around. Let me see here.
You say that every month.
I'm telling you, they do. It's
You
different.
don't.
Hold on. I gotta find it. I found you. Oh, I think I gotta make you host so you can
Yeah.
share. There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
You're
thanks. Okay, so when you're on the agent info site, which you can actually get through Suite Assist, through your third party systems, or through the agent info site. So everyone gets access to this when they join Bliss. And then we've updated some buttons in here. So office info, resources, that's TCs, broker support, tech support, software, it's all in here. You have marketing, coaching and training, the Bliss agent roster, and the vendors. So these are all separate buttons. And then the swag. So Michelle's the owner. click on the link and it takes you right to our custom site. And she's adding more and more stuff. I always text her, I'm like, hey, do this, this. So I already ordered a tank and a hat. I think I told Judy about the pickleball paddle, which by the way, there's pickleball courts coming in near the Gilbert office. I just got notified. So you can actually reach out to Michelle and say, hey, what about this? Can you do this? And then you can decide the colors, if you want white, black, gray. You can decide the different logos that you want, and pick them out. So super user friendly. Do you want me to keep going, Lise?
Yeah, so the next slide that they can't see was about the vendors list, because you wanted
Oh
to.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
send it
So
there.
anytime you guys get vendors, I'm not going to see them in the Facebook group or Teams. You can shoot me an email or text me and say, hey, can we add this company in? I've tried to build it out. I'm dyslexic, so I did go somewhat in alphabetical. I started cutting with the commercial. And then you have CPAs, you've got mortgage, title, attorneys, Binzer repairs, builders, cleaning, carpet cleaning, estate sales, flooring, handyman, insurance, HVAC, inspections, anything you guys can think of, insurance, like landscape. So yeah, any of your contacts, like we want the agents to be able to use them, right? You get a good one, you get a bad one, let me know. Like, let's get them off here. So hopefully you guys like that part. And then the agent roster. So we do not have you guys, you're on the main site. And if someone wants to email you, they have to fill out the form. When a new agent hires on, it's really weird. Like a brand new agent will get spammed and they get spammed weird stuff. So I don't know if the lists are being sold from ADRE, the boards, MLS. I'm not really sure how they get our information. But this has been a couple years. I took down the agent's phone numbers and actual emails off our site. And another reason why we don't put that out when we do the social media posts, because you really get spammed, and not just spammed, it's fraudulent stuff. So our indoor roster, you can actually go on and see, and we've sorted them out by city. So which agent lives where, if you want to team up, if you're looking to send a referral. So hopefully this helps you guys out a little bit. And then we've got them in there by states also. Because we actually have Bliss agents in other states. So as we keep growing, then that's what we'll do. So I hope you guys enjoy that too. Do you guys have any questions or anything?
But it's good
Everyone's
because
quiet
at least
today.
by city, they can see, like, if, they're in Queen
Mhm.
Creek and maybe they don't want to go to Glendale, they can refer it out and just collect a
Correct.
referral fee. So now you
Yeah.
can see where the different agents live without having to ask, do we have any agents and blah, blah, blah. Now you can see
Yeah.
them. You can even see the ones
Yeah.
in the interstate.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks, Lee.
Yeah. Did you make me host again? Oh, I think I can share. Oh, no, you got to make me host again. No, not yet. See, not that easy, is it?
Oh, it is. I just have to find you, your host.
Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay. There we go. Now see, I made all these beautiful slides and she just went over all that stuff. This was my vendor list slide. She just talked about that. Oh, you need to talk about the agent Facebook page.
Oh, yeah. So I know not everyone is on social media, but truly, guys, we have a private Facebook page and vendors are in there also. And the agents are posting, hey, I have this listing. I need help with open houses. So um, we do send out emails. And now you can see all the agent emails, but some agents use Microsoft Teams. There's a lot more traction going on in the private Facebook group. So even if you're not on social media, maybe just join just to get into that group because I feel like you're missing out. We share information, we create events too. The Bliss actual company Facebook page has the events listed out also, even though we try to email them. It's just, you know, we're trying to share the information, and you can actually pull up the company listings through what is it, through the corporate or company through MLS. So you don't have to wait for an agent to post about an open house. If you're wanting an open house, pull up the company listings, not your office listings, because we have agents in multiple offices. Pull up the company listings through the MLS and reach out to those listing agents. Be assertive and say, hey, can I sit this open? Even a rental property, sit it open. You know, it's people are just following the signs. They don't know it's for rent or for list. And then do a comparison, rent versus buy. You know, what would their payment be? So it still leads. So that's another way is to go about it. Don't just sit back and wait for people to contact you. It's not going to happen. Like I have a listing going up tomorrow and one agent reached out to me, Barb, to do an open house. That was it. So I'm not going to sit and post about it. I don't have time to do that. So just pull up the company listings and scroll through and reach out. You know, the listing agents will tell you if they can or can't have an open house. But Facebook, we're trying to share a lot of information that way too. So
Yeah, and the page has been great lately. A lot more interaction. You guys are talking to each other and sharing information. So it's really picking up steam. So if you aren't a member, yeah, you're kind of missing out on some of that
yeah.
information that's being shared and in interaction with your fellow agents. So
Yeah.
you already talked about the agent roster. So here's my beautiful, um, this one's for you too, Mar.
Oh yeah. Hey, so we love talking with all of you. And we're growing or agents are actually working and we're getting busy. So it's fantastic. What we love in the culture at Bliss is that we're able to share information, we're able to answer all the agents and help you out in that broker support. But you know, at some point we do have families. You guys also have families. So as much as you probably don't want me texting you at 6 a.m. when I'm up, or maybe at 10 or 11 when I'm like, oh, hey, yeah. No, that's not cool. So probably the same thing is, even though you know you can get a hold of me on the weekend, Saturday or Sunday, or reaching out to Lisa, let's take a step, just breathe and say, hey, is this a priority? Can it be handled on Monday? Is it text is sometimes hard because I have 69 texts right now to respond to. And that can build up depending on my response time. I don't know Lisa's response time. So emails are awesome because you can put them in a subject line. And then we can also research the property, research what you're asking about. We have the Calendly links, schedule time to talk with us. But again, I think like, you know, 8, 9 o'clock, you know, it's after hours, nothing's an emergency unless it's a contract in escrow, right? That's when we like to be available to you guys. And that would be more me, not Lisa. Like she has kids and a life. So it's some of these things can be handled on Monday. Some of them we can't even get answers for you until Monday, right? So, or even the next day. So if you have another job, it's okay. Shoot us an email when you're quieted down, you have time to think. It could be 8 o'clock your time. So give us some time maybe the next day to respond, right? I just want us to slow down and be respectful of each other. That's all I ask, right? Um, we're thankful to have the agents and thankful to grow, but it's also we want to be able to give the same customer service to everyone, not I don't want to have to really start implementing rules or tiered systems that you can't get a hold of us, because that's what I didn't like at the big brokerages. So, just think through what you're asking. Is it a huge an emergency? Then yeah. Are we talking lawsuit? Heck yeah, I better be on the phone with you at 10 o'clock at night, you know? Um, but again, is it able to wait the next day? I don't know. So is that good, Lisa?
Yeah, that's good. So,
Text
yeah.
is hard
Oh,
to read sometimes.
yeah, and sometimes it's just, yeah, like I don't know, at least for me, like so many years in this business, but I don't always just have the answer either, guys. Like I need
Yeah.
to know what it is you want because I need time to digest and think. And
Yeah.
sometimes my immediate response is far different than my response 20 minutes later or 30 minutes later after I've had time to go, huh, and let it
Mhm.
sink in. Because
Right.
every situation is weird in this business. I mean, just when you think you've seen it all, something weird new happens and you're like, huh. So
Yeah.
sometimes I need a little time to process.
Yeah. And we did the Calendly links for you guys to schedule appointments too and calls if it's so that you could put in there what is it about, right? Because there's times where we may need to talk to the other broker or the other agent before we can even give you an answer, or pulling up files in Suite Assist to say, hey, what truly is going on? And then some things are not an emergency. I know there's times I'll call Lisa and I'm frantic and she's like, why did you just call me? That was not what, why are you making a big deal about it? I'm like, I don't know. I'm being emotional over it. So, but I didn't need to take her time up, right? Or away from her family. So, um, and I love that we have agents on dual careers and that travel. So take into account what time, if you're after hours and your work time is 7 to 9 or something, that doesn't mean everyone else is working 7 to 9. So shoot off what you need to do and then know that you'll get a response the next day. And it's okay. It's okay. We still love you.
Absolutely. All right. So next, I'm sure that you guys have all seen, because I'm seeing it in your docs you turn in, that they've updated the agency disclosure form. It's now 2 lovely pages. But basically, the main thing they changed was that they added in the language about, that the seller that all compensation's negotiable. So this all goes back to the whole commission thing and the lawsuits. They put it into the agency disclosure form as well, even though it's in other forms, because their thought process is, and the agency is like one of the first forms that should be signed by your client, because you need to explain to them like what it means when you're working for them and what that entails. So they figured it was a good place to also throw it in there. It's kind of like when you buy or sell a house, mostly when you buy a house and you got to sign like 500 times that you have to pay this mortgage payment. You don't just sign one paper that says that. They make you sign like 10 that just basically repeats itself, because apparently the first time doesn't work for people. So it's kind of the same thing. They're putting it on all the forms now. But the most important thing too to remember is that, your agency form is not an employment agreement. Doesn't mean that because they sign that agency, they have to work with you. So, they've got your listing agreement is your employment agreement. Your buyer broker agreement is your employment agreement. So it doesn't mean that they're stuck with you either. So don't think that if you have them sign this. But it is one of the first forms they should be signing. And I also wanted to bring this up because I feel like I've noticed lately, like on some files, I'm asking like, we're at the end of closing. And I'm like, where's your agency? And it gets uploaded and the date is like that day and it's closing the next day. it's kind of a moot point because you were supposed to discuss agency and explain to your client from the get-go about representation and what that means to them. So you're doing yourself and your client a disservice, and that's going to get you in a lawsuit. So also just kind of wanted to bring that up too, because I find that these agencies are showing up at the end of the transaction when it was supposed to be done at the beginning. And I get like, I mean, the way they state it, let's just be honest, the way they state it, the minute you talk to your client, they should be signing that agency. And I don't think that's realistic. Typically, you sit down with your client, you go over things, and then you send them out the listing paperwork, or if you use buyer broker agreements, the buyer broker form. Well, this should go with your listing paperwork. I don't know why a listing agreement signed and agencies being signed at the end of the transaction. But so I'm realistic. I don't expect you to have it signed when you've barely met this person, even though that's technically what, ADRE expects. But it should be going out with your initial paperwork to your client, like as soon as possible. So I just want to kind of clarify that with you guys. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about was post-closing issues. I thought this was a good one. I had seen this kind of come up in some stuff, and it's something that we deal with on a fairly regular basis.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to kind of clarify with you guys, after the close of escrow, your agent duties are done. So if your buyer moves in and a week later they call you up and they're like, oh my gosh, the sewer's backing up into the house and I'm going to sue the seller, and they're freaking out on you. All you can really do is refer them to counsel, to an attorney. But I know, so I want to kind of clarify, because I know like we all want, like you want to provide that customer service to your client. So it's really hard not to get involved. Like, right? You want to do the right thing and you want to protect your client and you want to protect that relationship. But you have to walk a fine line. And of course, you can always call like Mara and I about the situation and just kind of talk it through, because there's 10 different things. And maybe that one thing you might have could be, well, maybe you don't just refer them to an attorney, we can do this. But I've seen, like Mara and I have seen some crazy stories. And we actually talked about this at the last happy hour,
Yeah.
but one of the crazy stories, and this was a couple years ago. I don't remember how long it was after closing, but the buyer wanted to sue the seller and the listing agent. And I believe we were the listing agent.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah. Saying that there was rabid black squirrels on the property and the seller didn't disclose them.
Yeah.
It was really funny. But like, long story short is there wasn't really anything we could do. The seller disclosed everything, and that's all you can really tell them. Look, seller disclosed what they knew. This is all we know. I have nothing more to say. Like, I'm sorry you're having this problem. If they want to sue, then sue. There's nothing we can do about it. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to sue. They just say that. So but you can refer your seller to, an attorney if need be, but you don't want to get involved because you're not an attorney. You don't want to say something that's not correct and get yourself in trouble and then get involved even more. Like, we had another situation where we were the listing agent, and after the sellers moved in this particular one, I guess there was roof rats or something. I'm not really sure. There was a whole bunch of pest infestation, I guess, up in the attic area and stuff. And they were doing remodeling. And so I don't remember what, but supposedly it ended up costing the buyer, I don't know, like $50,000 to remediate the situation. And they just kept, the buyer agent, so this is after closing, just kept emailing the listing agent. My buyer wants to give you a chance to pay, if you pay $16,000, like, we won't sue you, blah, blah, which is ridiculous. That buyer agent shouldn't have been doing that. He's not an attorney and he shouldn't have been involved. And, of course, our listing agent was just like, what do I do? What do I do? And in this case, like, all we did, we were like, all you can do is tell him we disclosed what we knew. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm sorry this is happening to you, but we didn't know about it. And that's the end of it. Just stop answering them. Like, we stopped responding. He sent a few more emails. Supposedly this has all gone away. Like, they didn't sue yet. We haven't heard anything. So, but my point is there's nothing you can do. all you can do is refer them to legal counsel. And if they want to pursue it, they will. But most of the time, honestly, they don't, because it's not worth the time or money and they can't prove it. You can't really prove the seller knew what was going on all the time. I mean, if you have concrete proof, then yeah. And usually it is the buyer going after the seller, not vice versa, because typically a seller isn't gonna close on their house, move on, and somehow have an issue. So it usually is the buyer moving in and then trying to say seller didn't do something. But I just kind of wanted to bring that up just because I know it's hard because you want to get involved, but you're going to get yourself in trouble. Just refer them to legal counsel, but always, call Mara or I and we can talk through
Well,
it.
I think just having someone say we're gonna sue you is scary. And so it just immediately our brains shut off and we're like, oh crap, and you're like, I don't want to get sued. No one wants to get sued, but we have to figure out the situation and the paperwork and it's at that point it's walk away. And a lot of it is the buyers are trying to see what else they can get, right?
Mhm.
We get multiple calls and I'm sorry, buyer, you're now a homeowner. Um, so anyway, yeah, it's just don't get caught up in the drama and the situation um, so
Yeah, because even I've had that happen. I've had my own buyer call me and say there's some electrical thing in the bedroom like a month after closing. Whoa, are you gonna call the seller? No, because it worked just fine when we did everything we needed to do. You're a homeowner now.
yeah,
My favorite analogy is kind of like you take a car, you're gonna buy a car, you take it to the mechanic, he checks the car out, gives it a clean bill of health. 2 weeks later, your transmission falls out. There's just no way to know. It is what it is. Like that's the risk you take. So that's my favorite analogy. And buyers seem to understand that when you kind of explain it that way, but also too, why you should be making sure they have all the inspections they want to satisfy themselves. If they want a roofer out there, get a roofer out there. If they want a specific AC guy, if they want the sewer line scoped, I mean, sometimes just stopping at the home inspection and termites not enough. You need to make sure your buyer's satisfied. That's also going to help keep you out of trouble if they understand that they had all the inspections that they need or want to have, and they understand that. So some of them aren't that savvy. So you might want to be explaining their options to them at the inspection time, But anyway, but you can always call us. I just kind of want to bring that up
yeah.
because I know people start getting involved in this after closing stuff and trying to go back and forth, and that's not really, you shouldn't be doing. We also have a class coming up on a new grant program. So buyers can get up to 25,000 with no payback. So if you want to learn about the newest grant program, since, things are so costly and there are buyers out there who can buy as far as credit, but maybe they just don't have all the funds. So this is a way to help more buyers get into homes as well. We're also going to do a Mastering FSBOs class that's coming up April 3rd on Zoom. That'll be with our coach Trisha. We'll be leading that class.
She's built her whole business. She just loves FSBOs. She door knocks, she calls them. So I think this will be a really great class.
Yeah. We have another one coming up in our series with WFG Mortgage and Aaron Lacey that they've teamed up with them. So it's going to be 5 steps to building a powerful agent story. So I'm sure this will help with your YouTube videos and channels and things you can be doing on there. This series has been phenomenal. I think I've gotten a lot out of all these classes they've done for us. So they are recorded if you've missed any, but they do a phenomenal job of explaining stuff. I've learned a lot from these classes. They've been great. We have another one coming up with Coach Courtney on rapport and how to build your rapport and remain top of mind. Sorry. Remain top of mind with your clients. Someone's having a bad dream, I think. So that'll be April 23rd at 11 on Zoom with Courtney, Coach Courtney. We have our next happy hour coming up in Scottsdale. It's April 4th from 4 to 6 at K. O'Donnell's. And sorry about the last happy hour, you guys. We were supposed to have one in Glendale last week, but Mara had COVID and I was having a procedure, so neither one of us was able to make it, it turned out, so we had to end up canceling. We didn't cancel, we postponed it till
Yeah.
May. So there'll be one in Glendale in May, but our next one will be Scottsdale, April 4th. I just want to give a quick shout out to our March birthdays. We've got Brian and Daryl, Jolene and Linda, Melanie and Philip, and Shakora, and Steven, and Tessa, and Thomas, and Trisha. So happy birthday, you guys.
Yay.
Hopefully you're having a good birthday month. Oops,
Happy birthday. It's so quiet today.
I know. Nobody's got questions. I think with spring break though, too, because we have a few less people on than normal. And I think with all the spring breaks, it's just been, hold on, somebody just popped up something in the chat, I think.
Yeah, I wrote happy birthday.
Oh, I was so excited. I thought someone wanted to talk to me. Next office meeting will be April the 11th, the second Thursday of the month. And last but not least, we have our March recognition. We actually have quite a few people that we wanted to recognize this month. We've seen a lot of people working. So our agent of the month is Kim Samu. She's been with us for quite some time, and her business has just taken off all of a sudden again, and she's really been putting herself back into it and working hard. So we just wanted to recognize Kim for that. And our President's Award goes to Tom Bartz. Tom's been also working really hard on his business, and we're just seeing all that effort and just wanted to recognize him and the things he's doing. We wanted to recognize Nicole Mole for Closing Excellence Award. I can personally tell you she had quite the closing this month because I was involved in it, and she managed to just maintain her professionalism and get the job done and just keep it at a level that was great considering what was going on, and her professionalism was just amazing. So we just wanted to recognize her for that and handling that situation she got in, and she got her deal closed and she did a phenomenal job. And we wanted to give the Rising Star Award to Chris Jennings. He's actually in our coaching program, and he has been setting goals and meeting those goals and following through and working his business as he should be. And we're just proud of all the efforts and the things that he is doing to get his business off the ground and moving. And we wanted to give the Social Media Savvy Award to Brenica. She's also in the coaching program, and she has been doing a lot of posts and open houses and stepping up her social media, which has been like an uncomfortable thing for her, as it is for a lot of us to get out there on social media. But she's doing it and putting herself out there, and we just wanted to recognize her for that.
Good job.
Yeah. And
Aw, thank you.
oh, hey, Brenica.
Hi.
Yeah, congratulations. So proud of you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. And we're giving out the Market Resilience Award to Philip Bacard. He's actually one of our commercial agents. He focuses on commercial, and he's been out there in the trenches doing a lot of commercial leases and working really hard to connect with those clients. And the commercial's been, it's crazy, and it's hard to find leases right now. So really proud of his efforts and his accomplishments with the transactions he's doing in commercial. And I wanted to recognize for the Client Satisfaction Award, Melissa Loper. She's fairly new to us, and she's also one of our new TCs, and she's working with several of you already, and everyone's been super happy with her work. She does a phenomenal job with her clients, whether they're TC or buyers or sellers. So we just wanted to recognize that we see you, we see what you're doing, and you're doing a phenomenal job. So thank you for that. And that's it. That's all I got.
Yay.
Yeah. So thank you guys for joining us today and listening to me and Mara talk.
Thank you.
Have
Thanks,
any
Lisa.
questions? Yeah. Does anyone have anything they need or want while you got me or Mara? No?
You guys are quiet.
So quiet. Well,
I
all
have a
right.
quick question, Lisa.
Yeah.
In regards to the new agency disclosure. I'm assuming anything that's not under contract as of this moment is going to need that new executed agency disclosure.
Correct. Just it came out, I think it was just this month. I forget if it was last month or this month. It's already updated in transaction desk, so anytime you execute a new one, it would be that one.
Gotcha. I was just thinking
Yeah, you
I
don't
mean,
have
we
to
already
go-
had the listing on the market for the last few weeks and the buyers already, or sellers already signed all their initial buyer documents, but I can, of course, have them go back and sign the
No,
new updated
you
version.
don't need to. If they've
Okay.
already seen the original, you're fine. It's just going forward. So no need
Okay.
to redo it if they sign the old one, especially because it mostly just talked about the compensation thing. And that's fine, because you've got a listing agreement, whatever. You've already had that conversation with them. No need to redo agency if it was done before the new one came out.
Okay, perfect. That's all I needed to know. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right. Anyone else need anything? All right. Well, you all have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll
Thanks,
talk to you
Lisa.
soon.
Happy spring break, everyone.
Yeah. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I want to
Happy
see
St.
your
Patrick's Day.
three on Sunday.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
you guys.